feel the effects of that wind now. Sam's actually part of the family that owns this company. So he's... Do you have any Fisher people on board this afternoon? Anybody notice how correct I was when I said that though? That fisherman. Now there's some whitefish, some pike, something really unique called a deep water scum. Actually resides at the very end of England today. That's it was in the early 1920s. A woman by the name of Mrs. Eleanor Hunter. Starting from the right moving left, you see that first rounded portion, followed by those two smaller bumps, followed by the larger triangle shape, and from the triangle shape where it slopes back, past the side of the mountain, the avalanche comes rushing down through the forest. It essentially takes with it all the trees and vegetation in its path. And you can certainly get a sense for the force and momentum it has by the rock and gravel debris it brought down to warm up to 16 degrees Celsius around that 62, 63 degree Fahrenheit mark. Where the border exists, it must be visible. So where there's trees, they'll cut it. Long grass, they'll cut that a little bit shorter. And when there's essentially nothing at all, they'll mark the markers or obelisks. Now in this area, that border swath was first cleared in the 1930s. Or did this person pick a bad time in particular retains a timber lease on the east boundary of the park to this day. So that gives you a little idea of some of the early artifacts. 1 o'clock position, and you see that green A-frame shaped building just up from the edge of the water, sun shining on it right now. Everybody able to pick that up? That's the new Starbucks they're building down here. Of course, we're all very excited about it. Apparently it's going to feature a boat through, similar to a drive-through. So that you right away ask, why would the Great Northern Railway Company go through all the trouble to build a boat on the south end of the lake, essentially?
And in this context, it means a place that is frequented by something. So this would be a place frequented by mountain goats. And in fact, the Blackfeet Indian name for this area, when literally translated into English, means where there are a lot of goats. However, if you came looking for goats, mountain goats, you're going to be a little bit disappointed because back in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, those goats got pretty much hunted into oblivion. And for some reason, they have not yet repopulated the area. So it is no longer a good place to see goats, but there are a lot of other very unique things about this area. And one of them is the geography. If you travel just a little bit further south in the park, down to the Two Medicine area, you'll come to a mountain known as Triple Divide Peak. And the unique thing about that peak is that the water that flows off of it flows down into 3 separate oceans. The water that flows off the western slopes of Triple Divide Peak flows down into the Columbia River and into which ocean? The Pacific Ocean, there we go. The water that flows off the eastern slopes of Triple Divide Peak flows down into the Missouri River, into the Mississippi, out into the Gulf of Mexico, and into which ocean? The Atlantic Ocean. And the water that flows off the northeastern slopes of Triple Divide Peak flows down into the South Saskatchewan River, down into Hudson Bay, and into what ocean? The Arctic Ocean. So, Triple Divide Peak is known as a tri-ocean divide, and there are only 2 of them on our planet. The other one is in Siberia. So if you want to see a tri-ocean divide, you probably came to the right place.
1,466 feet above sea level. Members hiked up there, and they told us when they looked to the west or looked to the east, every time the border crossed the mountain range, there was an obelisk mounted at the summit of that mountain. Question, what's the difference? And the difference is a glacier's a moving mass of snow in the air. Don't go any higher up, pardon me, from the edge of the lake than maybe 6 feet around that 2 meter mark. Starting up from the edge of the water, you can see a V-shaped fold in the rock followed by an A-shaped fold. The center of the A-shaped fold appears hollow and has that layer of rock just on top of the A-shaped fold. That shows that rock can bend without breaking, essentially with no externals. In this area we experience a phenomenon known as a Chinook wind. Chinook is actually a native term, meaning snow feeder. What that is a hot, dry wind which can blow in here that wasn't our fault. The fire really overachieved. I like the little spin they put on that. It was an overachieving fire for most organizations.